This is America, and so, of course, we've got another school shooting for you. Today, the target was Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, and the situation is still developing, obviously. We actually just got one of the most recent facts right before going to air, but this is what we know so far. The shooter was a former student, a male. I believe the name has been announced as...
Yeah, Nicholas Cruz.
Nicholas Cruz. So far, and much more importantly, 2 people are reported dead on the scene, and at least 14 others have been injured, although those numbers are probably going to change. This is a school of about 3,000 students, and obviously this has traumatized that community. Those people's lives will never be the same after this. I mean, if you've been on social media, you've seen some of the footage that was being sent up by students inside of the school when it was being locked down. People were tweeting video and statements, and it was, as it always is, absolutely devastating to see. We're going to show you in just a little bit. You're seeing there some of the footage from outside of the school.
So Senator Bill Nelson from Florida has confirmed that several people have died. The casualty reports are anywhere from 14, if that's the number that John quoted for you. I've seen in a lot of news stories, all the way up to 20 to 50 in some of the reports. Now, when these shootings happen or a news event happens, the first 24 hours, you'll get a lot of things that get corrected later. So the number of casualties, I'm sure, will change, both the wounded and the killed. But it's obvious that it was an enormous mass shooting in this high school in Florida. It's good to see that they apprehended the shooter. He was a former student at the school. Another student at the South Florida high school said, quote, "He's been a troubled kid and has always had a certain amount of issues going on. He shot guns because he felt it gave him, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for, an exhilarating feeling." And apparently he talked about how he knew the floor plans of the high school. Now, this is, again, early reporting here, but that's what one student said about the person he believed to be the shooter, and now authorities say the shooter is Cruz. So
in custody.
Yeah, and he's in custody. So this is the same pattern that we see a million times over. Someone who's disgruntled, a misfit, and again, another student describes him as someone that other people didn't want to be around too much, given how volatile he was. Looking for glory, looking for strength and power in a gun, and since of course we have hundreds of millions of guns in America, super easy to get one, super easy to access one. Any lunatic can grab it. Anyone looking for glory can grab it, whether it's a politically motivated shooting, whether it is, and that comes of all different stripes, or just someone looking to get into the news and get some glory. And here we are again, and you're never going to prevent it unless you do gun control. Now, you look, it doesn't matter. I don't care what your opinion is. And you, oh my God, but it's my hobby. Okay, my hobby's fantasy football. It doesn't kill anyone. Okay, so if your hobby kills tens of thousands of Americans every year, I don't know, maybe you should think about, hey, can I do my hobby in a way that doesn't lead to as many murders of children? Can I do that? Oh, but I'm fighting tyranny of the government. Really, are you? Who's used their gun to fight the tyranny of government recently? And if they have, they're probably in prison, or the cops probably rightfully shot them. So it's nonsense, and we're not asking to ban all guns, although I think a case could be made. No, they're asking for reasonable things like background checks. 93% of Americans agree with them. But no, not the corrupt politicians, because they get their blood money from the NRA, who are the real terrorists in America.
Yeah, we're going to add obviously a ton of context, and we need to, as we do so often, have to remind the people who might not know of how terrible this epidemic of mass shootings, not just shootings, mass shootings in this country actually are. But before we do that, we do want to go to a couple of videos from the scene. We have 2 students, witnesses to the shooting, giving their account of what happened, and here is the first.
Where were you when the shots rang out?
I was by the highway over there.
Yep. So happened you were on that side of campus?
Yeah.
And you knew immediately what was going on?
Yeah, no doubt. I heard it, I ran.
Have you been able to get a hold of your classmates or some of your friends?
My sister's still in there. She's texting me about it right now. She says to be quiet. And that's all I know right now.
Have you heard anything else in terms of how many people have been hurt? Or
I have no idea. I know one guy got shot in the leg. That's all I know. I heard my teacher got shot, my 9th grade teacher, but that's all I know right now.
think about the terror in the hearts of those parents. I'm a parent. Jesus, if my daughter was stuck in that school, or your son or anyone, but every time politicians tells us thoughts and prayers, that's all we can give. Let's pray to a mythical God in the sky above who never comes to help us, because it isn't about him coming to help us. It's about whether we can logically pass laws in this country that 93% of Americans agree with. No, we don't have a democracy. We have nothing but goddamn corruption. So now, in this case, it was Broward County. Next time, it'll be in your area. It will. I've told you this, and every once in a while we get an email, we get tweets, we'll get them today again. Hey, Cenk, I remember when you said it'd be in my neck of the woods, and then it was. And then we had a shooting near my house, in my school, in my hospital, in my movie theater, etc. Because the shootings are nonstop. There's a mass shooting almost every single day in America, and they are coming for our kids, and we're helping them by giving everyone in the country a gun. If you have everyone in the country has a gun, you think what, we're all 100% mentally stable, the whole country? No, there's a lot of monsters among us. There's a lot of unstable people among us. There's people looking for glory among us. And we all go to, hey, hand out guns like candy. No one else does this across the world. And they don't have anywhere near the mass shootings and the murder rates that we do.
Yeah, well, Cenk, he's not just giving guns. We actually have a tweet from President Trump where he's giving something else. If we could bring this graphic up. He's giving prayers and condolences.
Oh, wow.
So that's good. It's the first time. I hope it works. It's a radical solution.
Spare me and spare the parents of this shooting and the next shooting about your prayers and condolences. You know what I would like instead? Laws and bills and legislation. We're supposed to live in a democracy. Can we just get a shred of gun regulation before we just hand them out to everyone and go, oh, look, oh my God, another school shooting, the 1,000,000th in a row. Who could have seen it coming? I do. I'll tell you right now, there'll be another one and another one and another one. And one day it's gonna be your kid's school. And if you voted against gun control and you say, oh no, but I like the murder deer in the woods or whatever I'm pretending to do, and my gun makes me feel like a bigger and better man, well, you're responsible. The NRA, you are deeply responsible. All those legislators, mainly Republican, but a lot of Democrats as well, that vote against gun control no matter what, even if you're on the terrorist watch list, even if you're mentally unstable, sometimes when you've already committed violent crimes, you're responsible if you vote against that. We live in a democracy. It is your fault, legislators, when you don't do gun control and our kids get murdered.
Cenk, the only reason I can think of that you're saying it's going to continue to happen is because it happens literally almost every 2 days in this country. So we're going to read you some stats now. This is not shootings, and this is not mass shootings, which when I was a kid were rare and big and newsworthy events. This is just school shootings. Just this year, there have been 18 or 19, depending on how you define it, which is almost one every 2 days, which means there's very little chance we're getting to the weekend without another school being the site of a shooting, just like what you saw in those videos. There's been 29 mass shootings, and I think that's probably a pretty tight definition there. Total 1,796 gun deaths this year. It's February this year, and over 3,000 gun injuries this year.
Okay, so that's in 6 weeks.
And it is totally acceptable to the vast majority of the people who have any power to do anything about it. Because they love to talk about how they're strong on security and defense, and they will spend every time you look at the news, military spending, it's another $20 billion, another $60 billion, another $160 billion. What's it being spent on? Who the hell knows? I literally think that nobody in government or the military knows what it's being spent on. If we need to spend $20 billion on a wall, we should do that. Seems like based on Twitter activity today, we could save a hell of a lot of money by sending thoughts and prayers to the border, save $20 billion that way. So they love to talk about defense, but for the things that are actually threatening our country and our individuals, they don't care. Because of tiny amounts of donations they get from the NRA. They will take your child and they will put it on the altar of American gun worship, and they will do that literally every day if that's what is necessary.
So great point by John. So after 9/11, how many countries did we invade? How many trillions of dollars did we spend? How many thousands of US soldiers died? How many millions of innocent civilians died? Because of our reaction, because 3,000 people were killed. And boy, we were all in a rage, and we ought to have been. That's every 3 months in America. Gun violence. Every 3 months, you will have as many people that died on 9/11 will die from gun violence. But there, nothing. We won't invade anybody. We won't spend any money on defense contractors. No, it isn't about keeping you safe. It's about who gets paid. Now, when we got hit on 9/11, what happened? We blindly attacked Iraq. Afghanistan, at least that was the base for the people who attacked us. Iraq had nothing to do with it. But the defense contractors make tons of money. This instability in the Middle East. The oil companies make tons of money. Were you safer? No. Then Al-Qaeda, that was not in Iraq, came into Iraq and got larger. Then Al-Qaeda seemed like wimps next to ISIS, who then grew out of that conflict. Are we safer? No. But the people who bribe our politicians got richer. Now, in the case of guns, we are infinitely unsafe. Everyone is unsafe. You can get shot any minute of the day because the guy sitting next to you has a gun. If he doesn't have it on him, which he probably does, he has it at his house or he has it in his trunk. There's almost one gun per every person, not just adult, for every person in America. That's on average, okay? And yes, they do it to shootings and it terrorizes all of us and it makes us so much unsafer than any of the things they warned about. All that money that they just spent on defense, it was already at $600-700 billion. They added another $190 billion on top to keep us safe from what? Poland? From Canada? Who's about to invade us? No, the invasion is right here, right now. It's in a school in Florida. The terrorism right here, it's in a school in Florida. It's a school in Connecticut. It's a school in Colorado. It's a school all over the country. But it doesn't, none of the corrupt politicians get bribed to keep you safe. They get bribed by gun manufacturers to keep on killing you and your kids. So wherever the money is, that's where these corrupt politicians go. So it's not about keeping you safe. That's just a trick.
Yeah.
In reality, all of us are terrorized every single day, but the politicians keep getting their money, their blood money. If you like this video, bless your heart. We got a lot more where that came from. We do a full show every day, Monday through Friday. Come enjoy it ad-free by becoming a member, tytnetwork.com/join.